Did you change anything?
I think we are good. Are we good? This has been some night already. We just started. Oh, poor Hannah, all the way here. And I'm trying to get us started here. And we are live. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, I didn't think this was going to happen. Oh, thank God. All right, hold on a second. Everybody bear with us. There they come. All right, let me change the screen here because it all got messed up when we were trying. This is what technology does, okay? This is what technology does. Okay, but we made it. It took a little bit of time, but look, we made it. I'm so happy. There's everybody. Hi, guys. Thanks for waiting and hanging out. We've been trying for the last 10 minutes to come live with you, and it just didn't want to cooperate. But you know what? We are persistent because we love you all so much, and there is no way that we are not having this night tonight. It is too special of a night, so we are not giving up, and here we are, and everybody is joining us now. All right, listen, before we even start, I need like a million hearts going across the screen because my heart is racing right now. All right, I'm going to have a sip of my drink, and this is not alcohol, it's my mango tonight, and we will take a breath and start over. Hi, everybody. So welcome. Hi, it's Saturday night, and we are back, and I'm so excited, and I have a split screen here with someone very, very special that I am just honored to be able to bring to you, to introduce to you, to share with you, and to just have this time together. This is Hana. Hana is the founder of Love to Dream and the inventor of the 3-stage sleep system. And so many of you guys have Love to Dream Swaddle Ups, and this is the woman who made it all possible. So welcome, Hana. And by the way, Hana's in Australia, okay? So look at what we're doing here. Maybe that's why it took so long to get on. It was the delay of traveling all the way across from Australia. So welcome, Hana. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. And if only it took 10 minutes to come to you, I would be there right now.
That's so true. That's so true. I mean, we're complaining about a 10-minute wait. It takes, what, a lot longer to fly back here, right? Oh, my goodness. That's so funny. That's so true. Hi, everybody. Oh, everybody's joining us now. We've got a bunch of people in the chat room. Everybody's super excited for tonight's topic, and not just the topic, but you know, the products, everything that you guys are doing. And I'm just thrilled that I have been able to partner with you guys this year to bring not only great products for parents and for babies to make their lives easier and help babies sleep better, but you know, also just all the information and the education that goes along with it. And tonight is a perfect example of combining those together. So thank you so much, Hana, for being here.
Thank you so much. It's not an easy time in a new parent's life, so I hope we can help today a little bit.
I'm sure we will. And so first, before we start, can everybody just tell us where you're all from? We know where Hannah's from. Hannah's from Australia. I'm in here in New Jersey. I'd love to just get a little roll call of where everybody is from right now. Go ahead and put that into the chat room. I want to see it. And while we're waiting for everybody to just post where you're from, Hana, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background and your story, and how did you do this? How did you create this? What happened here?
Oh, wow. Like a lot of baby companies, I became a mother. And my background was in fashion and textile design. So I ran somebody's business for a while before I resigned to have a baby.
Yes.
And my beautiful baby boy just did not stop crying. He was a very, very unsettled baby.
Yeah.
And he did not sleep for more than 45 minutes at a time, probably for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was exhausted and really desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we have a similar swaddling culture to you guys. We swaddle our babies as soon as they're born. So the
Yes.
nurse takes your baby from you, swaddles it up and gives it to you.
Yes.
And yeah, and we noticed that swaddling helped settle him, but it didn't do, it didn't do everything that we needed to get him to stop crying.
Right.
So one of the nurses in the hospital, one of the midwives, said to me, okay, don't swaddle him with his arms down. You can't see my arms, but they're down right now and across my chest. Swaddle him like this.
Right.
So I did it. And guess what? He slept better.
Yeah.
But I had a problem. Yeah, he really did. And, it was just heaven to see that something worked better than what we were doing before. But the problem was that he would unravel. So if you take a swaddling blanket or a receiving blanket, as you guys call it, and you wrap your baby up, at some point in the night, they have wriggled around and got out, which means they're crying for you to come back. Yeah. So
how many people have actually experienced that, where you try to use a big blanket to swaddle your baby and they're like little Houdini getting out of it, kicking and thrashing and getting out of the blanket? I'm sure everybody's going to say yes. That was my experience too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I went to the shops and I bought everything I could buy to try and keep this little guy in and sleeping. But there was nothing available that would keep his arms in, and there was nothing available that would keep his arms up, actually.
Right. No, it makes so much sense.
So, yes. So after I got out of the newborn blur at about 14 months, when my son was 14 months, I started reading all of the medical research I could find that addressed why he slept better with his arms up. And I found a lot, actually, that showed that if you can sleep a baby in their natural sleep position, maybe we should show that photo now, Shari. What do you think?
Can I actually show what the arms look like up right now?
Oh, yeah.
Here, look, this is what Hannah's talking about here. Okay, this is a swaddle up. We each got one. Look, we have matching. We each got one. This is what it looks like with their arms up, swaddled with their arms up. And I have to tell you, Hannah, I've been working with new moms and babies for over 25 years, and I've been teaching swaddling, and I'm a big advocate of using swaddles. But when I first saw the Love to Dream Swaddle Up blanket, I was just, it's like one of those things where you say, of course, like, why did it take so long for anyone to think of this? And I was just so impressed with the concept, because we like to sleep with our arms up like this. I know I sleep with my arms up like this. It's a comfortable position, and babies do like to have their arms up, but they still like to feel like they're moving against something. So I was just very impressed with seeing your line.
Thank you. And that's right. No human being sleeps with their arms strapped to their body. I'm sure all of you guys can relate. You probably have one up here and one hugging the pillow, or some version of that. And it's comfortable and it's natural.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, this week on my Facebook page, I posted a birth picture of a baby being born with their hand on their head like this. So even at birth, coming out with their hand up. And I thought of that just now when one of the pictures I posted maybe yesterday. So yeah, I mean,
that's such a good point. When you look at an ultrasound picture, your baby's arms are here, right? Always. Or they're sucking on their hands. Anyway.
I can't even imagine they're having their arms down, especially at the end of your pregnancy when there's a tight confined space. Their arms are going to be up this way the whole time, and elbows bent and everything. So it just makes complete sense. Well, thank you for sharing all that. And we see, we have Love to Dream in the chat room right now. I think that's Elizabeth in the chat room, I believe, or is it Nikki? I'm not sure who's out there. But we have them here, and we have a whole bunch of people. And you guys asked some really great questions tonight. So thank you for posting all your questions. First of all, can we get some hearts for Hana and joining us from Australia? What time is it right now, Hana?
It is 1:20 p.m.
1:20.
See, the sun is shining.
Is it Sunday? Is it Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. Figure that out. It's Sunday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon over there, and we are here Saturday night. So, and you can see the sunshine. It was actually perfect placement what you did with having the windows behind you, because it really lets us all see that it is daytime. It is like midday where you are. So fantastic. You guys asked some really great questions, and it really it was perfect, because so much of what you asked and what you want to know for your babies and for yourselves really is the conversation that we wanted to have with you all, the information that we wanted to bring you. And so I'm going to start with the questions, and Hannah and I are going to talk about the importance of swaddling and all the different aspects of it, and hopefully this is going to help you to help your baby sleep better. You know, we thought about other there, and swaddling is only one portion of it, but there's so much that we can talk about with this. And as we talked about the conversation on sleeping, I had, you know, a list a mile long of different tips and stuff, and we will do another night where I go over tips, other tips to help your baby sleep. But I think swaddling deserves a night all on its own, and so that's what we're going to do tonight. So let me start with one of your questions, and then Hannah's going to give us some education about this. So hearts, hearts, hearts. Let's see the hearts. It's Saturday night. I'm here. I've been doing this every 2 days for the last like 10 days, and we'll be doing it again moving forward. So I need lots of love coming across the screen. Thank you. Oh, I see Joe's little face pop up with the heart. That makes me happy. Okay. So the first question came in from Carmen, and she said, is swaddling the best way to get a 4-day-old to sleep? Congratulations, first of all, Carmen, on your new baby, 4 days old.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So swaddling is a really important part of getting your baby to sleep. There are other factors which we'll go into at another time, but the American Academy of Pediatrics did a study on swaddling, and they compared babies who are swaddled with babies who are not swaddled and how they sleep. And they found that babies who are swaddled sleep for longer periods of time.
Yeah. Now,
there's a really important reason for that. And swaddling activates, and it's a medical term, so it's called proprioception. And human beings have proprioception in their bodies. So yes, when the baby is given a gentle compression to the joints and muscles, that is soothing for a baby and for humans. Like if I gave you a hug, you'd feel comforted, right?
Yes.
Because I'm gently compressing your joints and muscles. So swaddling has the same effect for babies.
It would seem like it's a similar thing when you're breastfeeding your baby, and so you're holding your baby and they feel that gentle compression as well. Or maybe when you're wearing your baby in a carrier or a sling and they're feeling the gentle compression of the carrier, right? It's a way to separate yourself for a short period of time so the baby can sleep, and then still feel what they feel when you're wearing them or when you're nursing them.
Yeah, I love that. I love that analogy.
Yeah, perfect. And
also, one last thing is swaddling helps calm the Moro reflex.
Yes.
You know, babies, they startle.
Yes.
So that startling is actually really important for their development and many other reasons. So you should never entirely suppress it, but you can calm it so it doesn't wake the baby up.
Yes.
And
that Moro reflex is normal, you know, so when your baby startles, and what actually triggers it is the head going back. So when the head goes back, it's part of the startle reflex. So perfect timing is because you go to put your baby down, right? And their head goes back, and what happens? They wake themselves up. Nobody here has ever had that happen to them, right? I don't think so. We've all experienced that with our babies. And so they sleep really great on your chest, and then you go to lay them down and it wakes them. And that is the more reflex. And they do outgrow it within a few months. So it's just the first 3 or 4 months of their life. They have that more reflex, and then they will outgrow that eventually.
Yes. And, if you want to try and keep your baby asleep when you're transferring them, say, from your chest to the bed,
yes,
you should start out with having them swaddled while they're being soothed by you or settled by you.
Yes.
And that way they already feel contained, so that when they lie back in the bed, they don't all of a sudden, jerk and do what you said and put their head back. And then when you place them into the bed really gently, we know about that, don't we? Really gently.
Really gently.
It's like, don't breathe.
Absolutely.
Don't creak that floorboard.
Back away quietly.
Those ones.
Uh-huh.
So you can keep your baby pressed down gently on your baby's shoulder and on their hip or on their tummy, and that will make them feel like they're still being held by you or pressed against you. And then, over 30 seconds or a minute, just lift your hands gently off them and try to do that backward crawl out the window.
That's such a good point. So what you're saying is, when you put the baby down, keep the pressure on them so they really don't realize that they're not with you, that try to maintain the same pressure of you holding them.
Yes. Yeah.
And
don't forget
to do it more gradually.
Put them on their back.
And put them on their back.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always on their back. Babies always on their back, and I have people all the time say, I know, but baby sleeps better on their belly. You do not want to do that. Sleep your baby on their back, but following some of the things that Hannah's going over right now and swaddling them in a swaddling blanket that makes them comfortable, they will sleep better even on their back.
Yeah.
Even on their back. Perfect. Hearts. Let's get hearts for Carmen, because she just had a 4-day-old baby, and so she needs extra love, because you all remember what it's like to be. Well, some of you are still expecting. I can see. Brandy, I don't know. Did you not have your baby yet? But most of you understand what it's like to be home with a 4-day-old baby. So we need lots of hearts for Carmen. Congratulations. And that was great. That was a great tip to keep the pressure on the baby and gently and gradually remove pressure so that it's not causing a startle. Fantastic. Wonderful. Yay. Look at all the hearts. There's a lot of people here. Okay. So let's go to the next question. And I think that I see this person in the chat room right now. This is is it Cassie? Cassie. Okay. Cassie, I see you. Hi, sweetheart. Here's your question. What are the best tips for getting baby to not wake up? Oh, we just answered that question, didn't we? We just answered it.
I might have.
Okay, so we were a little bit ahead of ourselves here, and Cassie asked that question. See how smart you are? Well, how to not wake up when transferred from the bassinet? How can I get them to sleep? Okay, so that was your answer. Hearts for Cassie, because we already answered it. Yay. That's great. Oh, that's great. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. So the next question came in from Nicole. And Nicole said, I have a 6-week-old who hates to be swaddled. Any suggestions to help him sleep calmly and for longer than 30 to 60 minutes? So what's the deal? I mean, what about all those people who are out there who say, my baby hates to be swaddled? What do we do with those? Because I hear them all the time, and go ahead, go for it.
Okay, amazing. This is my favorite question, because we've already talked about the fact that swaddling is medically proven to help babies sleep, right? Yeah. So generally, every baby will like to be swaddled. What they hate is having their arms pinned to their body. Mm-hmm. So they fight their way and force their way out to get to their hands. So my suggestion is you swaddle your baby with a swaddle up, because what the swaddle up does allows your baby to lie in their natural position with their arms up, you see, but it's still got this snugness around the top and around the belly. And
I'm actually going to make your screen bigger so you can show them that. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I want them to see what you're pointing to. Go ahead.
Okay. So you see that this is the snugness you get across the arms and across the belly. And that's the snugness of swaddling. But it's nice and loose at the bottom so that it doesn't restrict any movement of the legs and hips.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my suggestion is try swaddling with their arms up, because they're just fighting to get into this position. If you can get them into this arms up position, then, and give them the snugness of swaddling, I can basically guarantee you that they will sleep better. Mm-hmm. We know that once somebody has tried the swaddle, they dramatically improve their baby's sleep. And if it doesn't work the first time, you just try again in a couple of days. I promise you, your baby will adapt and love sleeping in the swaddle up.
Well, it just makes so much, and I think anyone who's out there right now who's saying, my baby hates to be swaddled, they kick, they cry. I think if you just even imagine putting that baby into this type of a swaddle, into this shape, into this positioning of swaddle, you can imagine that if you look at your baby when they break out of the swaddle, what natural position do they go into? It's probably this position. And so that's going to be something very different than what you've probably experienced in swaddling before. I don't know any other swaddling blankets out there that do this.
No, there are none, and it's a patented product in the US, so you can only buy one from Love to Dream. But I would really love you to show the guys, in case they needed a bit more visual information.
Sure, yeah. The images.
Yeah, so today I just Googled sleeping baby. I think those were the terms I put in, and Shari's going to share with you what comes up. Here it comes. There we go. So if you just have a look at all the babies that are sleeping on their backs, how are their arms? They're all up, right?
Yes.
They're all up. So in an unswaddled position, a natural sleep position seems to be this for babies. So it's kind of contradictory to nature to swaddle them any other way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, this is a great visual. And I love the little one at the bottom here with his arms looking like they're behind his head. So cute. But this was just a Google search that we did for sleeping baby. And it's just true. That's how they will tend to sleep. When they're on their back, the arms will go up. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right.
So,
go ahead.
Can I just add one more thing? That apart from the arms being up, the other reason the swaddle up works so well to help a baby fall asleep and stay asleep is because they can reach their mouth with their hands. Or they can rub on their cheeks. And those two actions are self-soothing, true self-soothing. Babies self-soothe via sucking. That's why we one of the ways is via sucking. And that's why we give babies pacifiers, because the pacifier helps them calm down, fall asleep, and stay asleep for longer. So by giving baby access to their hands to be able to do that themselves means that they can learn to self-soothe faster than if they didn't have access to their hands.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, they can bend their hands. So part of whenever we have tried in the past to swaddle babies with access to their hands, it's always about putting their hands up here like this. But that's where they start to break out. And it really doesn't allow them to completely bring the hand to the cheek or to the mouth. Even when their hands are bent like this, they're still not getting full access unless you make the swaddle loose enough, which then defeats the whole purpose of the swaddle. So
That's exactly.
the fact that they can bend their hands and bring them to the cheek, bring them to the mouth, even suck on it, it allows them full access to self-soothe. And I would say too that, in the first couple weeks or months of, probably the first 3 months, babies have a really hard time controlling their hand movements. So they want to bring their hands to the mouth, and then they start jerking it away, so this actually holds it closer. And it actually, I would think, just from looking at the product and seeing it on real babies, because I've used it for some of my clients, and seeing it with the doll here, it would lead me to feel like the baby would have an easier time not pulling their arm away unintentionally because they don't have control and over their motor movements of their hands.
Yes, that's exactly right. And this specially shaped wing, you can see the special shape, that contains the whole arm. So you're right, that's why the baby can't escape through the neckline. Their hands can't come out again. They just stay here. And the fabric is cotton elastane, so there's lots of movement for the arms. So they're not restricted with movement. You see, it's really super stretchy. So they're
awesome fabric, very stretchy. And then what I also love too is how you guys design the neck too, so that it's not too big. The baby will not slide down into this blanket. It's going to stay where it needs to be, but it's going to give them a lot of room down here, because you don't want their legs completely bent. You want them to be able to move their legs and kick their legs and move around. So it does all of that. The best thing about it for parents is that it's super simple. I mean, this compared to a regular swaddle is completely different. It's super easy to do. You're literally putting the baby in and zipping it up. I think we have a little video to show. Can we show the side by side of what the swaddles look like? How about we do that right now? Guys, want to see a video? Let's get some hearts going across while I key up the video here. Who's loving the Love to Dream Swaddle Up blankets? Because I want to know, you should be posting right now everything you love about it. You tell me all about why you love this, why you want this. We are giving away, well, not me, Love to Dream and Hana, they're giving away 10 Swaddle Up blankets tonight, and that is very generous. So we should get like 1 million hearts for that, because there's going to be 10 winners tonight. How wonderful. And you're going to get to choose between the regular Swaddle Up and the 50-50. So you'll get your choice, which we will talk about more in a few minutes what that is. But let's get over to the video and let me show you how easy this is compared to a regular swaddle. Hold on 1 second. I'm doing good with my technology. See, once we got on, I'm doing okay. Here we go.
Do you see how the baby brings their hand to their mouth there? So that is what we mean by, that's the self-soothing we mean. And look, this poor mother is still swaddling that baby on the right hand side because it's tried to escape so many times. So Swaddle Up allows you to swaddle your baby in 13 seconds. Did you see that?
It's really amazing. I'm watching this and I'm going, yep, exactly. Okay. It mutes us. After the video, it mutes us, so I have to unmute us to make sure that everybody... Can you guys all hear me? can you all hear it right now? I know that it was muted for a second. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear us. That's such a great demonstration of seeing it side by side, because we've all been in that position where we're trying to swaddle with the big blanket. As you're doing it, the baby's coming out of it. The blankets need to be huge as to be able to accomplish a good swaddle. But at the same time, when they're so big like that, you actually run the risk of them becoming entangled in it. And then you've increased your risk of SIDS and other things, and, you know, just the safety issue of having that gigantic blanket that can come off. So it always makes me nervous to think of putting a baby in like that and not having them secure. The other thing that I don't know if everybody noticed, but when the swaddle, the full big blanket, when the mom was trying to swaddle, the blanket was coming across and right onto the baby's cheeks right here. And what that does is it can drive a baby crazy to have that rubbing against their cheeks, where it will keep stimulating the rooting reflex for them. So not letting them do it themselves, but not having it right there on their cheeks is very important.
There's a couple of other really nice benefits, is that if you buy the right size for your baby, and that's really important, we'll talk about that later, you will swaddle right every single time. Yeah. So you won't be worried that it's too loose or too tight, or that it's going to come unraveled, because it's impossible for it to unravel. And the unraveling, as you mentioned, is a real safety concern, and it happens all the time. Yeah. So we love that we feel it's safer than a traditional swaddle. And also, it's really convenient to change babies' diapers. I don't know if you can see here. There's the end of the zipper, so you can unzip that and change the baby's diaper really easily. You know, when you've fed your baby and it's fallen asleep at nighttime and you don't want to wake up, you don't have to. You just gently unzip, change, and place gently back into the cot.
Completely. It's so great. It's such a great feature to have that zipper from the bottom. One goes from the top, one goes from the bottom, and it will help to keep those nighttime feedings more calm, more quiet, you know, done, change the baby, and back to sleep without too much disturbance. And I think that's really important, especially at night. Yeah. It's great.
We can have.
You brought up the topic of making sure that they're sized properly. Do you want to talk a little bit about the sizing and how they go about, like, making sure they get the right one?
Yes. So there's a small and a medium in the Swaddle Up, and they go by the baby's weight. So we ask that you guys buy the product according to the baby's weight, not their age. So you just need to check the packaging for what's right for your baby. And if your baby is just a little bit under, you know, the neck size, just wait that little bit, because we want to make sure that the swaddle, if it's too loose, that, you know, there'll be too much fabric, and that's not safe. Yes. And also we want to make sure that the neckline fits your baby properly. And we've spent a lot of time researching the fit of our garments. Yeah. So, just check that there's no way that any fabric can go up over the baby's chin, and check that it is snug enough through the body, not too tight, but snug, so the baby feels that compression we were talking about. Yes. And all of our swaddles are loose in the hips, because there's been some research around swaddling babies with their legs straight and knees together is not good for babies' hips. So ours allows the baby to lie in the froggy position, which is recommended.
Yeah, with the legs out. Did you want to show them the three stages of your system? Because when we talk about the 3-stage sleep system, it's because there's a transition from one to the other. And I kind of brought it up before, but I want you to tell them a little bit about the different, and this too is so unique to your product, which I love as well. I mean, there's so many great points to bring up about it. This is just one of the others. So let me bring up the image here so that you can show them. Okay, there we go.
So you can see here we've got stage 1, 2, and 3. And what what I wanted to do was to make, you know, if you're going to establish a sleep routine and anything that resembles a sleep routine, we want you guys to be able to hold on to that even when your baby reaches different milestones in their development. So stage 1, which is swaddle up, which is what we've been talking about for the past little while, is stage 1. And you use that from birth, and you then stop using it when your baby shows their first signs of rolling. And rolling can be from back to front, or it can be from front to back. We don't discriminate. That's rolling. So as soon as your baby shows their first signs of rolling, we get you guys to move into stage 2, which is the 50-50. Now, the best way to transition a baby, and I'm going to bring up the transition swaddle now. Give me 1 second and I'll put the baby in.
Should I go back to us here so they can see you?
Yeah, that'd be great. So as I said, when a baby first starts to show signs of rolling, you need to transition them out of swaddling, because none of the SIDS organizations around the world recommend swaddling while a baby is able to roll onto their tummy and potentially put their face down. So we just want to avoid any sort of safety issues in your home. So please transition your babies. Transitioning happens anywhere between 3 to 6 months. Okay, so just watch out for your babies rolling. Some roll earlier, some roll later.
And what you mean by that is, you mean transitioning them to take an arm out, to give them the...
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll just adjust the screen a little bit. So our transition product, which is the Swaddle Up 50-50, you see the wing zips off, and
so great.
Baby's arms, and it's got this beautiful inside lining so that it's all nice and soft against the baby's skin. And you leave the baby like this for a couple of nights, and they start to get used to sleeping with one arm out. And then on night 3, or depending on how you go, you take off the second wing, and they end up in a snug sleep bag. So you see here on the proper sized baby, this is snug still. So they still feel some sensation of being swaddled.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
So that gently transition, if you just try to unswaddle a baby and let it sleep in the cot, chances are it won't like that very much, because it's so used to sleeping in a snug environment. So this helps them transition more slowly. Fantastic. And more safely. Yeah.
And, I would think too that even so sometimes, our babies go through developmental milestones at different times. So it's not like, today's 3 months and this is exactly when it's going to happen. And you need to really be paying attention to your own child, because as we know, they always go through these things at different times. Every child is different. And, it's one of the reasons why we're always careful when we lay a baby on a bed, or we're standing close by, because you never know when that baby's going to that's going to be the day that the baby rolls and, falls off the bed or does something that they didn't do the day before. The same goes with the swaddling. And what I love about, we don't know when the baby's actually going to start rolling over, right? It happens in an instant. And what I love about this particular product is that if the arms were down, it turns them more into a kind of a torpedo that can kind of roll. With their arms up like this, I would think that it would kind of prevent some of the rolling as well.
Yes, it helps to inhibit the rolling. That brings up another really good point, that if an older baby does happen to roll over onto their tummy, they have access to their hands to at least try to push back.
Yes.
If a baby's arms are strapped to their body, not even an adult would be able to kind of maneuver back to be able to breathe better. So yeah.
No, yeah, and so they can actually lift themselves a little bit or prevent it altogether. I love the prevention part too. It's just, it makes it more difficult for them to roll. But as you
Mm.
start to see them going in that direction, yeah, that's when you would start to make that transition. Well, I think that we answered Addie's question actually, because that was the question. When do we recommend going from stage 1 to stage 2? And are there any plans to do the 50-50 in the winter warm? Um, do we want to show was there a video that we were going to do on the stage 2?
Yeah, let's show that.
Okay, the videos are super cute. I mean, you guys made the cutest videos. I love showing them. So let's go ahead and show you the videos. Let's get some hearts going across the screen because that was actually Addie's question and we answered it before we asked. So let's see some hearts. Hi, everybody. Okay, so we're going to number 2 here, the 50-50. I think we are back. There we go. I wanted to make the screen nice and big so they could actually see the video really well because it's so cute. And I loved when they were showing putting the baby in the stroller too, so that they could actually you could actually there's a hole in the back here that you can pull the stroller strap through so that even when your baby's riding in a stroller, you can pull the straps through and still secure the baby and have them in the swaddle up. Correct?
That's correct. It's for
Yeah.
the stroller only, not for the car seat, guys.
Yes. But I was thinking one of the other things that I would have used that for a lot was, for my baby swing. Um,
Oh, yes.
because my first daughter, I mean, she would spend so much time in the swing because she just wanted to move all the time. And I used to have to put her legs kind of to one side to strap her in and do like a side saddle because I had her wrapped in a blanket in a swaddle and then in the swing. But this would have been perfect to be able to just pull the strap through and secure her really well into the swing. Babies like motion. And so when you're not wearing them, a swing is a great thing to have because they do like to be in motion. And so the combination of being swaddled and motion is a really good combination.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good combination. Yeah, they just kind of go together. They definitely go together. Okay, awesome. So I'm just looking here because I kind of got lost in my place. There was a question that did you guys like that video? Was that so cute or what? They make the cutest videos. I want to see some hearts. Hearts, come on. Let's see it all coming across the screen. It makes me happy. So, okay, so Michelle asked a question. When is it safe to have your baby sleep with a blanket? He currently sleeps in footy pajamas and a fleece sleep sack, but some nights I wonder if he's warm enough. There's the hearts. Love you guys. So this kind of goes, it goes to the question of, you mentioned that the swaddle ups come in different weights. There's the winter and then there's the light for warm weather. Is this important for their temperature regulation? And what do we need to know about that?
Okay. So the first thing you need to know is that you need to know the temperature in your baby's room.
Mm-hmm.
And the ideal temperature in a baby's room is between 68 to 72 degrees. So that's number one. Number two is having a look at what the temperature is in the room, and then having a look at the back of our packaging. We have a guide of what the baby should be wearing underneath the Swaddle Up at different temperatures, and what Swaddle Up they should be wearing. So like you said, we've got one in very, very lightweight fabric for summer.
That's the one I have here. You can actually almost see through it. It's very thin and lightweight. It's nice. You can imagine this in very hot weather.
Yeah. Then we've got one that kind of covers all seasons, and then we've got one for really much colder temperatures called the Winter Warm.
Yeah. So nice. I want to sleep in this tonight, Hana.
I know. You could have.
Joe just said just like adult size that I can put on one of these winter ones, the quilted. I swear this is what I need at night because I'm freezing.
So you see how this one has the gray bottom? That is actually quilted bamboo. So there's bamboo filling inside there, which helps regulate baby's temperature better. And it's a quilted blanket that's stitched into your swaddle, and the quilt only comes up to chest height. So that also helps reduce the risk of overheating your baby. So always read the pack, but I have to say the best way to check if your baby is too hot or too cold, just unzip the top a little bit and put your hand in and try to feel their tummy. Yes. And if their tummy is too hot or too cold, usually if you feel a baby's hand, that's not a very good indication, because babies' hands for some reason are always cold.
Yeah. Babies' extremities are always cold. You cannot tell by their hands at all. And it's true. Their chest, their belly, that's where you're going to feel at the core of their body is where you feel if they're warm or cold. And, it's kind of the Goldilocks thing. Neither is good. You don't want your baby cold and you don't want your baby hot. You want your baby just right. And lots of times moms will say to me, well, I don't want to put the swaddle on because the baby gets so hot. Who has a sweaty baby? A lot of sweaty babies out there. Everybody's got a sweaty baby, and babies tend to get warm and hot. And I always say that they're really the only essential piece of clothing is their diaper. So if it really comes down to just a diaper and the Swaddle Up, you can take off all clothes underneath and just use that. Right?
Yes. So, the Swaddle Up light is so light that it's good for quite hot temperatures. So even if you needed to put a very thin pajama, it's all good. But please read the back of the pack. That's got all the detail, or on the website that's got all the guidelines around how to dress your baby.
Yeah, the light is almost like it doesn't add any weight at all. It only adds stretch.
Well, let me tell you something really interesting about that, actually. So the light fabric is so thin you can see through it, like what you've said. Yes. But if you're swaddling in a muslin swaddle,
yes,
you are folding and you are wrapping. So you are wrapping up to 8 layers of fabric around your baby, right?
That's so true. That's so true.
This is one. So this has to keep the baby cooler than even using a muslin.
So true. That's so true. Yeah, because you're going around the baby, and you're right. It's multiple layers. Even with even if that is held out, if you look at it a single layer, it's thin. It's still going to be doubled or tripled up or even more.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Really good point. I'm trying to see here if we got to everything. I think we did. Is there the only last thing I'd like to talk about is, I have moms who'll say to me, my baby likes to be swaddled longer. Is it okay to just prolong this? And I think we kind of touched on this before about, is it okay to just if they like being swaddled and they're sleeping really well, can we just swaddle them for months and months and months? Or, what is the problem with that?
So there comes a point in a baby's development when they start to roll, and that means they're starting to move and that their body is needing to move for their development. And you swaddle a baby for many, many hours during the day. Some babies sleep up to, 18 hours. So if they are on the move, their body requires that movement. So it's not great to keep swaddling them, but if you use the 50-50 to transition them, you can get them used to the idea more slowly and gently than just
Yeah.
leaving them unswaddled. I think parents are so worried about losing their precious sleep routine that they want to keep swaddling, whereas there's a better solution now to help you transition.
Yeah, and start retraining
One
them.
one little trick I have. So some babies are really persistent and just won't let the parent release that one arm. So
Yes.
we suggest that as soon as your baby is asleep, then you take off that wing. So they end up kind of getting used to it during their sleep. So that's
Right.
just a little tip.
That's a great point. So that's not they're already asleep when you're doing it, and then they just kind of do their natural process with their arm versus them trying to settle themselves with it when it's something new.
Yes, exactly.
That's fantastic. You guys, was this amazing or what? I knew this was going to be such an amazing night, and I'm just so happy that Hana made it here all the way from Australia, and you didn't even have to travel. That's what I love about it. I'm doing a live stream with Jamie Grayson on Monday night, and we're just doing it this way, so I don't have to even go to Denver.
Yeah, it's
I may
pretty
never,
amazing.
I may never leave my house again, Hana. It's starting to be that way.
Oh, well, it's been wonderful.
I may never have to leave home. Yeah, and or put on real clothes from the waist down.
I was about to say, stand up for us.
You know I have pajamas on the bottom here.
I've got my active wear pants on. Does that help?
I really do. I really do. And I even have, look, I'm going to show you my socks. My thick socks. With my very shirt, jewelry, and the hair.
That's beautiful.
I'm completely outing myself right now. I don't care.
We're authentic around here. That's why.
There is nothing more authentic than what we do here together. And it's the only way that we want to be. And I know everybody here who shares in our chat room and shares on my Facebook wall and is in my community every single day, they share so authentically with me. They ask each other questions, they share their lives, and I just want to share my life too. And I think that what we're doing is amazing, and you guys are the most amazing. It's why all this happens, is because you guys show up every couple days with me to give me hearts so that I keep talking, ask me questions so I know what you need to hear, tell me what you love and tell me what you're looking for so I know what kind of partners to reach out to for brands and products that are going to make your life a lot easier, and meet all these great people that we've partnered with. So it really is the community, and I just love them all so much. I look at their names and I feel like I know them, even though we haven't met in person, and hopefully someday we will at some event. We'll all see each other. But I really am so grateful, and I'm so grateful to Love to Dream, and we're new partners as of just a few months ago, and already I'm in love with you guys and everything you do, and I'm just grateful to be doing this with you. So
It's mutual. Thank you.
yeah, definitely. So we have 10 winners for tonight. I hope you guys all posted everything that you love about the Swaddle Up blankets. We've showed you so much tonight. I think there was one more video we didn't show. We need to show them. One more video?
Okay.
Okay. Last video. Okay, hold on. Don't leave, everybody. Here we go. We're going to show the last. What is the last video we're looking at, Hana?
I think we're looking at the stage 3. And can I just quickly talk about stage 3?
Of course. Go ahead. Yes, stage 3. I forgot a stage.
That's all right. It's okay. So when you have transitioned your baby from swaddling into the 50-50, you will need to move up a size as your baby grows. So we have a sleep bag called the Nuzzlin or the Inventor sleep bag, and they come sized really long. So your baby can be in a sleep bag until they're around 3 years of age. And we love that because it's much, much safer than using a blanket. Because
Yes.
blankets can ride up and they can twist around the baby and they can pose all sorts of terrible safety risks. So we really ask you guys, don't use blankets. Dress
Yes.
your baby warmer underneath whatever they're wearing, but
Yes.
avoid blankets. So if you want them to feel like they've got a blanket on, you can use a Nuzzlin or an Inventor sleep bag. So yeah, you can show the Inventor
Let me
video
show
now.
that video. Again, so cute. I don't want to miss anything here. So hold on. Here we go.
Always
That's
makes me smile.
That is awesome. I love, love, love that one too. What is the zipper exactly? That's just to give it extra cooling, like extra breathing room?
Yeah, so we found that parents were worried that their babies were getting too hot, but they didn't want to undress them because that would wake them up.
Yes.
So they were doing unsafe things like unzipping the sleep bag, which can pose a hazard, right, to entanglement and riding up and all sorts of things. So we built the ventilation in. So you open the zipper and it's got a mesh piece that opens up the sleep bags and helps the air circulate that's inside, keeping the baby too warm.
You actually have thought of every last detail. Like, I mean, I can't, every time I look at this and all the different ones and all the different sizes and all the different features on each piece, I'm just blown away with every detail. Thank you so much.
I don't sleep much. Can you tell?
Where were you? I'm gonna give you the question that everybody asks me. Where were you when I was having my baby?
I know.
My second one never slept. Never. I mean,
oh, I'm sorry. It's so hard. I know.
I could still hear her as a 2-year-old, as a 3-year-old in the middle of the night. Mama, mama.
Oh,
It went on for years. I mean, years. The kid cried every. Yeah, that's another story. But I wish I had a swaddle up. Talia could have used it for sure. Now she's the best. She's the best in the world. She's the sweetest. So I think the ones that cry the most turn out to be really the sweetest angels. So.
Actually, my son is the same. I told you how little he slept. He sleeps like a log.
Yeah. So does she.
So
does she.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. So great. Well, we're going to be giving away 10 of these. That's a lot. And you guys are going to get the choice between the regular Swaddle Up and the 50-50. So depending on once we announce the winners, depending on your child's weight and age, I want you to go over to lovetodream.com and look at the size charts there so you can determine which one you need. And then you'll let us know. You'll let us know which one. So let's say a big thank you to Hana all the way from Australia for spending her Sunday afternoon with us on our Saturday night. And for everyone at Love from Love to Dream that's in the chat room, thank you guys for being here with us. We see you there. And for all of you guys, I'm sending you all big, big hugs and love. And don't forget to watch Monday night. I'll be over with the Baby Guy NYC, JB Grayson, 9 o'clock on Monday, doing our monthly even flow feeding, breastfeeding, and pumping Q&A. So get to all your questions. I'm going to be announcing it, so I'll put it up on my wall. You can post your questions, but he's got it up there on his wall. You can post your questions there too. And I'll see you guys then. Okay. So have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Hana. And we're going to say goodnight to everybody. Mwah. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.